All right, so we're going to tap a little bit. Hi, if you're here for the mind. Drink a lot of water. Sorry, I was just doing the body part and that was really long. Yeah, just like everything else. It's very long and tedious, and most of all the work that people don't want to do, but I already did. So that was for you guys a little resume of what I did for 4 to 5 years. So yeah, you're welcome. Now we're tapping into the mind now. Repeat again, like I said before, nothing I'm talking here is about religion. This is spiritual, mind and body. Spiritual, I already did it on the dream prophecy. That literally God put it for there, but spiritual is connected to the mind and body as well. So all of these are related, okay? But I just talked to you about the body in terms of 3D life, let's say, 3D external things that we need to focus on for the body, for the planet, and for others, okay? But the mind, which I give a little bit already with astrology and astronomy, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on how it's related to what happened on June 24th of 2022, okay? Whew, okay, so let's start. First of all, we have an alignment of 5. 5 can be significant. I told you guys, if you look at the prophecies, 5 was actually significant. Let me see, what was it about? Save it somewhere here. Yeah, 5 talks about Jonah. Jonah, and it's actually a prayer or something before he got into here. 2 and 5 can be significant, but 5 is specific planets. So we have Mercury, Venus, the Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay, and they're all aligned in the Sun. So this is where it was letting me know it's like every year, every 100 years in the human lifespan. Okay, so remember that all of us we don't all get to live to 100 years, right? Some of us, our lifespan has been reduced, can be reduced, right? Right now, God is trying to let you guys know that it can be enhanced if you're keeping a self-discipline, a healthy self-discipline, and not only with your body, like exercising, meditating and stuff like that, and working out, eating healthier, and having positive mindset and stuff like that. It's not just that, it's spiritually as well. So keeping yourself with prayers, connected with source, working on your your talents and your gifts, the actually ones that they had given you, that God has given you, not the man, not the system, and not what they're telling you to do, that you should be to make more money and stuff like that. No, in the 3D life, that is important. But in the spiritual sense, as a multidimensional person that you're here for, it's not. Okay, so let's put that clear. That reduces your years of lifespan, and they know this. The system knows this. That's why they create stress. They make you unfocused. They have alcohol. They have all these distractions, all these things to leak your energy, because they don't want you to live longer, because it's just they don't want you to, because it's a control tactic. They need to be controlling, manipulating people. Okay, just give me a second. I'm gonna turn some incense. All right, so this is the healing. It's called healing incense. Okay. Yeah, because we're doing some healing right now, right? Learning about astronomy mixed with astrology, okay? But I'm going to explain to you the best way I can through tarot cards as well, and read to you as well what, in a way, how also the system and people are looking into astrology too. So this is a warning for some astrologers. Be careful what you say. Sometimes you really have to tap into source and really connect to source and meditate before you relieve some information, okay? Because some information you need to use discernment and understand if that's for you. Is that for the collective, or is that because we also have to watch out what we say for the enemy? So you have to be careful with that, okay? Now, 21 of June is summer solstice, right? It began. So that's usually, it talks about Neptune, Hangman. Also, we are in the month of June, 6, which talks about work and service. I don't know, I kept seeing 6 and work and service. That's also 6 is one of the numbers that came out in the prophecy as well. Yeah, 6 is and it's also about Revelation 6, okay? So go check it out. That's the part 6 that I talk about, part 5 or part 6. You can check it out there. There's some predictions and prophecies there as well related to this. Everything is connected. God works in this way. And before I came here, I did my prayers and connect with him to check it out. Holy Spirit said, okay, this is what it is, okay? So now we have, when we look into, okay, so he told me to let you guys know. Okay, so we have the Magician, which is exactly what came out first for me, the Magician. And this particular card, this is why they make me recharge my cards in nature in a holy place before I can let you know about my holy place, but you can go find out what your holy place is if you want to recharge your crystals, you know, connect with source, you know, each of us. But I feel like he's saying, like, always balance the two, okay? Spirituality with the 3D aspect, with the earthly plane, okay? So that way you have that balance. You see that 2 of Pentacles, balance within your finances, your mental health, your love life, your, you know what I'm saying? All of that is connected. So that's why it's really important that you focus on your spirit, mind, and body, okay? Because first is the spirit, because we are a spirit, okay? So yeah. So it says, yeah, so every 100 years human lifespan is a certain amount, okay? And now what God is saying, that for people who are in power, their lifespan is going to be much shorter. So they're going to start having diseases. I'm hearing Alzheimer's, all type of, like all kinds of unimaginable diseases. Because let's keep in mind, I kept saying that if you listen to my podcast, the COVID-19 was their karmic lesson. But they decided to, you know, pay their way and, yeah, make other people suffer their karma lesson that it was for them. They suffer, some of them, but that was just the surface of what was coming for them, which is, it's still reducing more their shorter lifespan. Like if they get COVID-19 and they still recovery, there's coming something else for them, okay? So don't think that these people are gonna get easy. They're not. They just don't wish them, you know, just pray for them because, yeah, because they are our enemy, right? And yeah, and these people think that they're gonna get away with stuff, especially now trying to jeopardize women's human rights and children and stuff like that, just like they did with COVID-19. Just they did the same thing and trying to make more money during a time where there should have been equity, there should have been, anyways. I'm going to explain to you in a second with the planets, okay? Bear with me. I'm not a completely astrologer, you know, but just because I was able to do the math, right? And as a scientist who did physics and chemistry and stuff, then I was able to understand this in a different sense than most astrologers who haven't done the sciences really understand or have done astronomy. But then there's astrologers who have done astronomy, who have done physics and science, you know, they're, you know, if you're found it out there, awesome. Leave it in the comments if you find someone like that. But I haven't been able to find anybody like that, okay? But there's really good astrologers. Not necessarily they have to be scientific, you know, but they're really good astrologers as well, who are also I look into, and they also have been predicted these type of things. Okay, so we have Mercury, which talks about the Magician, right? Also Virgo, Magician, which talks about communication and travel, okay? Then we have Venus, which is the Empress, which talks about love. Let me show you the Empress. Let's see if we find it. But in the meantime, the Empress, right? So it talks about, we have the wheel, which is Jupiter. We have Jupiter, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which talks about karma. Wheel of Fortune talks about, you know, what comes around, you know, what you put out there comes back to you 10 times full. And that's what is happening right now as we speak. Okay, so whatever these people have been putting and think they're gonna get away with it, they're gonna get a huge rude awakening. I see it with the 10 of Wands. A lot of burdens, a lot of things are gonna happen to them. So you just wait, just be patient, keep praying, have faith, okay? And you have to trust in God. And that's the truth, okay? The sun is the sun, so I'm just gonna put it on the top. The sun, it talks about joy, contentment, illumination, rebirth, the south, right? Yeah, justice. See the Ace of Pentacles, and here you go, the Empress. Empress is Venus, okay? So love, beauty, personal resources, and self-worth. You see this person is like, this person is nurturing, right? It's self-nurturing. It brings, you know, highly intuitive, a warrior, somebody who goes through a lot of things. So this is women, right? So basically it's interesting that it's happening during this time that they're doing this, right? It's like they already predicted and knew that this was going to happen, and they did it exactly on this day, right? To attack Empress, to attack women, especially women who they're seeing that they have some type of power, right? Especially first women that are not the usual type of white supremacy type, right? It has to be, you know, women who are of color, who are being introduced into places and media and stuff like that, and it's really bothering these demonic, toxic motherfuckers, right? So that's it. So yeah, so this is going to continue into July 12th, and the next one is in 2040, okay? The next alignment like this, okay? Now we have, so now I have Saturn, sorry, the Jupiter, right? The wheel of, and it talks about the West, right? Western mentality, Western, keep saying Western mentality. So that's something that, you know, is going to change whether these people like it or not, okay? So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune talks about confidence, vitality, optimism, and success, but also expansion. This is why they're targeting, is because they know that a lot of people are going through that expansion, are talking about, you know, are no longer subjecting to the status quo, are speaking up. Their third chakra is opening, and I'm seeing that, right? All the signs are changing and shifting. They don't like this. They like to have control over people. They like to keep people manipulated in control and in every possible way, mind, body, and spirit. So this is why they think they're going to continue getting away with it. But with the Magician card, which talks about Mercury, communication, the more people speak up, this is what you need to remember. That even if you're going through the imposter syndrome, that is also being orchestrated as well by people who have money. Just remember that. Also, they do it through the apps, through the social media communication apps, okay? This is for people who think that you're not being listened to, or that you're not heard, or they're trying to tap like Google, YouTube, and stuff like that. They're trying to lower your content and stuff like that. Just continue going, okay? It matters. The people who are meant to see this type of information are going to see it, okay? The star, this is the star, also talks about, yeah, I'm going to leave it here because I talk about the star here, which is the, yeah, where we're going soon, actually, where we started actually on June 4th, Saturn retrograde. It's Aquarius, right? Which is the star in the tarot card. Judgment, I'm going to leave it out as well because we are going through divine judgment as well. It also talks about spiritual awakening. Also, the judgment is Pluto, which also, let me remind you all, Pluto went retrograde in Capricorn on April 29 and is still going to keep going into October 8th. So let's remember who Capricorn is. Pluto in retrograde in Capricorn is the devil in tarot. Okay, and also Pluto is judgment as well, which talks about transformation. Here you go, the Hangman, more energy, which is Neptune. This is what I want to talk about. Neptune also is going to be in retrograde in Pisces, which also, this is Pisces as well. The Death card, which talks about Scorpio. So all these, the Hangman, Judgment. Yeah, So this is a transformation rebirth that a lot of us are going through right now. Okay. But these are the main cards that I was literally guided by the planets, because I'm just following the planets. What's going on? Why is this happening? And connecting to source. So I'm here to let you know what they want to let you know, which is your spirit guides, your ancestors, your angels. Okay, you need to be aware of this. So we have Jupiter, which is the Wheel of Fortune, right? Confidence. Okay. Saturn is the World card. Where are you, World card? Oh, the Moon. There you go. Moon is the moon, right? We have the moon that is aligned with Venus as well. Venus, the moon, and the sun are literally out. Moon talks about illusions, secrets, deep things, secrets. So there's something going on that's being done to women right now. There's a lot of people doing stuff to women right now. It's not just in the physical. What you're seeing in the physical and the external is what has been done in the spiritual. And they think that they're not going to get caught. They think that it's not being discovered. I told you that dream, the prophetic dream that I told you about these women, these priestess, witches or something like that, doing stuff to people to keep them in an illusion. That's the secret. They're doing some stuff, some ritual cult or something like that. And they're using religion, Christianity in a fucking fake ass way. Right? Using God's name and the Bible stuff. Like, these people are cursing themselves by literally taking the Bible, prophet, the stuff, the words, and then using it in their political and bullshit kakalaka. Yeah, that's what they're doing. See? Oh my God. Look at that. The Seven of Swords. Doing sneaky stuff behind people's back, thinking that they're not going to get caught. They're going to get caught. Or they already are. We're revealing this to you for a reason. All this psychic reader and people who are doing this type of work, we don't need to be doing this. I don't need to be doing this. What time is it right now? At 1:40. I don't need to be doing this. I don't. I've been guided to do so. I cannot sleep thinking that there's people who need this type of message and they think they're la la la. And you're right. If your intuition is telling you about this bullshit, about this world, you're right. Okay? Just do what you gotta do. Do the work you gotta do. I'm doing my part. You go do your part. I'm here to show you how to do your part, whatever your soul tells you that this is what it is. This is also related to your birth chart, okay? This is why I'm doing this as well, okay? Because I want you to check your birth chart. We're gonna tap into it. I'm gonna show you what's going on. But one thing at a time. Sorry, the information overload. I'm trying to make it in a way that it makes sense, but bear with me, okay? Be aware of Seven of Swords. This is sneaky, lying, betraying, doing things behind your back with the Moon card right after. This is definitely some people. Some of you have family member, friends, ex-friends, ex-family, people who are karmic in nature, who are dealing with some type of karma. They don't want to work on their north node, let's just say, and you are in your north node. Okay, they're in their south node, they're comfortable, they don't give a fuck. They're rowdy, mad, and stuff like that. They want to keep doing stuff. Yeah, Temperance talks about Sagittarius. This is what happened recently. We went through a full moon in Sagittarius. You know, everything needed to be balanced. Something needed to be revealed, released, and worked on. You know, some of us need to be replenishing ourselves, keeping our cups, and working on ourselves. Temperance also talk about angels, like, you know, protecting, revealing things. The devil. Let's talk about that. The devil is about, you know, obsessions, being bound to a certain system, negativity, influence. The devil is a negative influencer. Again, Capricorn energy. Yeah, but all of this is all type of transformation, because at the end of the day, the shadow, it's needed so that we are able to put the light on the shadow, right? And realize, like, okay, that's the shadow. That's what I need, you know, need to transformation, need to call judgment on certain things that are not okay, and surrender to positive thing, to spiritual awakening, okay? And this is why the star is here, because it becomes your transformation, and becomes your enlightenment, right? It becomes your who you really are, a star, right? We, all of us have our star seer, star seed, chosen, whatever, you know, someone who is meant to be in public eye, someone who's meant to be in communication, someone who's meant to be balanced in their feminine empress energy, someone who literally has highly intuitive, someone who, you know, it's meant to be bringing light, happiness, joy, innovation, innovators, and it's written in the stars. It's written in the stars. And this is the lowest vibration. This is what you need to keep in check and keep it balanced, the ego death. There's an ego death that needs to be happening here. And most of us will be going through many spiritual awakening and ego death. That's why it's important to look at your birth chart so you see what signs will be affected during that time. When it's, you know, not necessarily you'll know, but you have an idea of when is this going to occur. Now, we have all of them. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have Saturn. Oh, we're missing the World. Where is the World? The Fool. I feel like the Fool is, yeah, the Fool energy is Uranus, but that's in the August one. Okay, anyway, we'll go after that. We have the Hierophant, which talks about Taurus. The Empress is Taurus as well. Strength card. Strength card is Leo energy, which also is the Sun. Talks about health, vitality. I'm just gonna leave it here actually. Health, vitality, strength, good body and mind, yeah, courage, bravery, all these things that we are really already made, and but this one likes to make you feel that you're not good enough, that you don't have these qualities, that, you know, yeah. The High Priestess, which also is the Empress. I'm gonna put the High, which is also is a Pisces energy, Neptune energy, Hierophant energy. So a lot of us need to be tapping into your intuition and be brave and courageous, because these times are it's meant for a lot of transformation, and there's divine judgment for a lot of people for trying to jeopardize people who are meant to be in the light, who are meant to be showing the light through the darkness, right? Interesting. The World card hasn't come up. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles, which just talks about generational wealth. Yeah, there's a lot of people trying to affect people's generational wealth here. And she is, the World card. Look at that. Seven of Cups with the grief, and you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, a lot of people are going to be suffering in spiritual jail, grieving and pain and stuff like that for all this illusion and stuff that they created for themselves. Yeah, at the end of the day, they curse themselves by trying to jeopardize people's life, tapping into people's life, trying to do something. You see, interesting. The Strength card is here too. In this card, Strength. Oh wow, look at the Sun and Strength over here. Strength, courage, power, action, patience, perseverance, endurance, compassion. To do your inner demons, healing, fitness, robust, good health. Right? So this is what we all have to be fighting for, right? Building our courage and strength, and let go of fear and doubts and stuff like that, because it no longer serves us. Be in this strength energy, especially around this energy. This is a spirit. It's a stupid spirit, really. That's why people like to do stupid things and look embarrass themselves. Success, happiness. So this is the Sun card. So we have the Sun. So now here we go. We have the 5 alignments of the planets. So we have the Sun, which talks about success, happiness, prosperity, hope, love, joy, satisfaction, vitality, clarity, understanding, achievement, fulfillment, and good news. Okay? So now, when we go into much deeper of this, so we have Saturn, which is about the world. The world talks about an expansion, beginning, end of a cycle, right? So when we have the Wheel of Fortune and the world together, it's like what comes around, but also it's like it's meant to be expansive. It's meant to be like a challenge, right? It will be a challenge for us, but it will be a good challenge. It's not something that it's not meant for us to overcome, this transformation, this death, this enlightenment, surrendering to the divine, surrendering to God, and letting, not taking matters or vengeance into your own hands, like really letting, let go and let God, for real. Okay. So when we have the Saturn, which also that too, what Saturn is going, it went retrograde on June 14 of October 20 into June 4 to October 23. Okay. And it's in Aquarius, which talks about the star. Okay. So again, it is the world energy during that time. So we still are in expansion and ending karmic cycles. We are all doing it energetically in the collective. Okay. So that's for those who are focusing on balancing and not really letting this motherfucker take over, okay? Being obedient to divine, connecting with divine, with source, doing the work that you got to do with your body, mind, your earth, with the earth and other people, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, it's interesting that on June 4th, it was actually Saturn return Aquarius, right? But also there was exactly 3 stars who actually are related to Aquarius that also were a huge catalyst in this. And this is something that I discovered because I was like, okay, I was looking at this and I was like, okay, what is it that, because in terms of this, it calls challenge star, but it talks about control and limitation, right? Saturn. So control and limitation, okay? So I was looking into it and I said, okay, so interesting, there's a star, the world energy, and there's 3 stars. So when I got the book, this book that I show you guys in my other, that I reading into, and then when I was at the end of it, it talks about the most important stars. And I was like, interesting, I wonder what the stars of Aquarius are. And it's surprisingly, these stars are also in Saturn. There's a Saturn star called Sadal Sud, okay, in Aquarius, and it talks about Saturn Mercury positive, a creative thinker with an original mind, possibly psychic, with an interest in astrology, successful in spheres of business. So some of you are in that, like a lot of you who are psychic, your gifts have been enhanced tremendously since June 4th, okay? That's why you have this itch to create, to do things, and that's why I'm telling you, like, that's why I keep saying to people, use your intuition. Like, this summer is for you to enhance those gifts because you are breaking cycles. You are doing what you're meant to be doing here, whether it's any type of work, whether it's connecting with God, prophecy, creativity, conscious creativity, artist, musician, anything like that. And then the other star, it was the ones in Aquarius is in Mars, Jupiter, which is interesting that Jupiter is going retrograde in Aries on July 28th till November 3rd. So that's the second star that I saw that is also in Jupiter, also in Aquarius. So yeah, Aquarius, Mars, Jupiter, impartial, reckless, audacious, suitable to accidents, unexpected, notoriety, albeit brief. Okay, so I feel like during that time, make sure that you are, cautious, that you're, especially if you're an Aquarius, you're, Aquarius, and it's show here in the start, you're highly someone that, if you've been doing the work and you are high vibration Aquarius, there's a lot of things that you need to be focusing on, okay? So make sure if you have Aquarius in any of your chart, any of your houses, check out which in your houses. So this is where I was going. Since we're in Cancer season right now, is the 4th house, right? Which talks about Cancer, the moon card. This is Cancer energy, okay? So it talks about the 4th house. I will talk about the 4th house, but one second before that. Yes, an important situation here. We're talking about the world energy, right? Which that's what we are. That's why there's a lot of transformation happening now. Now, the 28th of June, which is important, I keep saying it, 28th of June to December 4th, we're going into Neptune retrograde, which is Pisces, right? Which talks about the hangman energy, but also the moon. Okay, these two are highly Pisces cards. Okay, so whenever you see that, also the High Priestess, so all of these are talks about everything that has been hidden, everything that has been secret, that a lot of people are gonna have to surrender, are gonna have to let it go and stop doing it, or have to, you know, come forward and stuff like that, because their karma is gonna be so intense that they are going to let it go, or they go, everything is going to be revealed, all the secrets, everything is going to be revealed. Okay, yeah, and then you have also the 20th of June, the new moon in Cancer, which is also talks about the moon card. Also, this is the Chariot energy. Chariot talks about the yin yang, right? And actually, you know, successfully moving forward, continue moving forward and stuff like that. That's what the Chariot energy is. Okay, so yeah, 20th of July, November 3rd, you have Jupiter retrograde in Aries. Aries is the head, right? Aries is the, let me see where I put this. Yeah, so Aries is the emperor, right? The emperor energy, empress energy. So it's all about divine and divine feminine, divine masculine. That's what I'm telling you. These people are targeting this specific union, this specific thing, these specific people. It's like they look at people's like charts, or they know what these people are doing or what they're gonna do, and they don't want none of that. So that's what they're trying to do, trying to jeopardize these people's energy. Now we have also another in Aquarius, which is Venus, another star. It's called Algedi. Algedi is impartial, lucky, promiscuous, generous, overtaken by unexpected events. Again, and it talks about Empress and stuff like that. So this is, again, people trying to control women, or people who identify themselves as a feminine energy, divine feminine, you know, because that too is like, we have also the really Javessel's bad reputation of karmics fucking women. No offense, but seriously, you need to keep it together. Like, God, who make other women who don't do that type of stuff, make them look bad, and then make women, categorize them as all women are like these fucking toxic, disgusting women, and then jeopardize other women who are not doing that stuff, you know, who are not promiscuous, who are focusing on their finances, and they're not all going with men, different men and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But the same thing for men. Like, men are doing the exact same thing, but for some reason they don't look at them because, oh, it's normal, it's patriarchy, oh, men are supposed to have a bunch of women and stuff like that. But when women do it, it's like the worst thing in the, like, you know what I'm saying? But not all women are like that. But the same thing, not all men are like that, but most of them are, because this world is fucking toxic. And most of these men have never been held accountable, have been literally applauded for all their this sneaky, cheating, disloyal, all this stuff, energy. And then women who are like, who have accepted this shit and have called it normal, unhealed and stuff like that, have made it bad for women who actually are not okay with that. But now it's like, they look at us like we're the bad guy because we don't accept their toxic fucking shit. Like, it's crazy. And it's all in the charts. It's all in the planets. This is why everything is going to be there's a lot of transformation, and things have been shifting, okay? A lot of women also are learning that that's their past, that they're shifting into being that Empress energy, highly intuitive, know their worth, and that is changing their energy. They're working with moon cycles, but in a good way. Also focusing on their stability, their health, you know, mental health, and that's what has been destined already. That's what we have the Wheel of Fortune. That's what we have this 5. 5 talks about change. These planets are bringing change, transformation, and I can't make this up. The planets are telling you through the cards. That's what they're trying to show you through the cards, what the transformation is, what it looks like, okay? Now, we have, like I said, the 28th of Jupiter goes retrograde, and Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, yeah. So that's what is happening. We are here in Mercury, which already happened. This Mercury retrograde went, and it happens every, I think, every 88 days or something like that. All right, let me go back. They told me to show you guys the inner planets, right? So the Mercury factor. So we had a Mercury retrograde that just happened, right? Mercury retrograde made in Gemini. So let's look at Mercury, sun sign, Gemini. So all the basic sun sign characteristics of Gemini will be presented with duality, restlessness, and an ability to cope with boredom, very much emphasized. The mind will work extremely quickly, darting from one aspect of a subject to another. There is natural intelligence and a tendency to give the impression of knowing more than they actually do. Okay, so some of us, we felt like there was a lot of shifting during that Mercury retrograde, right? And it was in Gemini. But then again, that's something that you need to see what Mercury in your birth chart, what sign is in your Mercury, okay? So it depends, right? You have, it could be Taurus, it could be Aries, it could be Gemini, it could be any of those, okay? So check out your birth chart and check your Mercury so you know what happened to you during the Mercury retrograde, and then the next Mercury retrograde I know is coming back, right? Because they said here, to the planets of the solar system have been no astronomy or superior and inferior planets to do with the power, nature of the influence, what is position solar system planet dominating birth chart because it's individual events. I saw that the Mercury, yeah, Mercury and Venus. Yeah, so Mercury is the planet closest to the sun. Can never be more than 28 degrees from it, and so can only fall in the same sign as the sun or in one of the signs on either side of it. If the sun sign is Gemini, for example, Mercury will be in one of the three phases, in Gemini with the sun, in Taurus, or in Cancer, okay? Venus orbits between the Earth and Mercury, and it cannot be more than 48 degrees from the sun. These are significant, 28 and 48, okay? In the birth chart, it can only fall in the same sign as the sun or in one of the two signs either side of it. If the sun sign is Aquarius, for example, Venus will be one of 5 places in Aquarius with the sun, in Sagittarius or Capricorn, or in Pisces or Aries. Look at that. Are we talking about that? Because of the close proximity of Mercury and Venus to the sun, it is always relevant to relate the influences of these planets to that of the sun sign, okay? Okay, so that's for you to look at your birth chart, what Mercury chart you are. Venus, so now we have Venus, which is the Empress. So this is where we are. We thought Mercury is the magician. So some of you need to be looking into what is your Mercury sign, what's your communication, what's your traveling, what is coming up during this 2022. It's important, okay? This is the year where a lot of things, you shouldn't be stagnant, you shouldn't be, it's movement, okay? It's, you know, if you're not in the train, you're gonna get left behind. That's really basically it. And I don't want you to stay behind. That's what I'm doing this. Because we should know this stuff. But this is stuff that's been hidden, so you not know, okay? Now, Venus factor, okay? Venus is, oh yeah, wait, before I go into that. Mercury at glance, distant from the sun, 36 million miles, okay? Is 87.9 Earth days, orbit around the sun. Rotation on axis 58.5 Earth days. Satellite doesn't have none. Keywords: communication, rules, Gemini, and Virgo. Okay. Now Venus. Venus, since we have here, is also next to is the Empress energy, right? Okay, so. Most of you are being guided to that too. The 5 signs that I just told you, Mercury, Venus, the Moon, the Jupiter, and Saturn, go check it out. What is my Mercury? Where's my Venus? Where's the Moon? Where's the Jupiter and Saturn? That's what these planets are telling you. That's why they're in a line every 100 years, okay? Pay attention. They're trying to speak to you. Just like your spirit guides, just like your angels, just like God talks to you, they're trying to give you a specific messages. That's why he let me tell you the same thing. He kept saying, no, I'm just here as a messenger, but there are certain Yeah, you must use discernment and your intuition, because certain wisdom and knowledge will be given to you only, and only you have the key, the access to your own soul, unlocking your own Pandora box within yourself. Okay, that's why I'm only giving you key words, but it's up to you to do your own work. Okay, and do it in the good way. And now, if you're trying to jeopardize or try to take this and turn it into something else, do not think for a second that the universe and God will not caught you and stop you in your tracks. Okay, I'm just saying. Use this for good things, for yourself, for the planet, and for others, okay? This is not something that you can be joking and talking about. Either way, the planets will not allow you anyway, so good luck with that. Venus. Now, we have Venus, since we are in the Cancer season, they told me to look at Venus and Cancer, because we have Mercury, Venus, and the moon. And the moon is about Cancer, right? And Pisces. So we can look at Venus and Cancer. So they look at Venus and Cancer. It says, the psychological need for family life and a permanent relationship will be a powerful force. Here are wonderfully sensual lovers, but those who, while certainly a beautiful home, will be extremely possessive, both toward partners and children. They are brilliant business people who can make a fortune, yet are not particularly generous. There is a tendency to be over nostalgic for the past. That's for Cancer. So make sure you see, when you look at your shadow, you look at your light, and you shine a light in the dark and say, maybe I shouldn't be too possessive or be too much. Maybe I should be more generous, right? Because it helps the planet in the stuff. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Venus in Pisces. Aries selfishness will be considerably lessened, replaced by a loving and caring attitude. The passionate fire of the Aries Sun and the sensitivity of the water element of Venus blend perfectly to make an ideal lover. One attuned to the partner's concern and interest. Charity can sometimes be carried to excess. So make sure that you're balancing, your books, your balance and stuff like that, and you're not overly giving, right? Yeah. Okay, so the next one says the moon. Let's see. I don't know if they have the moon here. Sun sign in Pisces. Oh, it goes with signs. Oh, that's why I was in the Aries one. Okay, sorry. Oh. Okay. Wow, this is so cool. Okay, so Mercury. Okay, so if we look at it from the Sun sign Gemini, okay, we did that. Sorry, let me look at Pisces. Sorry. Oh, I was reading the wrong one. Okay, yes, Pisces. Here are individuals with strong Pisces traits. They often find it difficult to keep both feet on the ground. When they take off, if they can allow their incredible imagination to take off with them and eventually give their ideas life and creative form, they will do extremely well. They are gullible and must try really hard to develop an element of skepticism at all times. Okay, so that's a little bit of Pisces shadow that it needs to be balanced. Okay, but also you're very creative, so put it out there. Just let go of the fear, okay? Stop being la la land. And you have to ground those imaginations to the ground so that it can be beneficial for you. Okay? That was Mercury. Venus. I keep reading the wrong thing. Why? Okay, Venus, if you have a sun sign in not Aries, Gemini. Okay. Here are the flirts of the zodiac, with a natural gift of expressing their love romantically and sexually, or with the best pickup lines ever. Oh, Gemini. They can enjoy more than one relationship at a time, but have the knack of talking their way out of difficult situations. Money, they will make it one way or another. Okay, Geminis. In Venus, okay? So that's in Venus. Why did I feel like doing Gemini there? I don't know. I thought that we were looking at Aquarius. Oh my God. Okay, Venus in Aquarius, sun sign Taurus. Why did I feel like doing Gemini? That was weird. maybe that could be significant. The Lover's cards usually. This is the year 6, so it has to be something. Okay, Sun sign, Venus, and okay, here you go. Venus and Aquarius, since we're in Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. Okay, so Venus and Aquarius. Here you go. Here's a glamour and kind of star quality that magnetically attracts, but also says keep your distance. However, these individuals are very romantic beings who may well long for a partner, but not a partnership. Aquarius independence will rule, but sometimes an inner longing causes conflict, which may or may not be resolved. Now, Pisces in Venus. Here is that most romantic lover who will get carried away at the least encouragement. Life will be total bliss until they fall back to earth with a resounding bump. They must develop an elemental of skepticism when approached by members of the opposite sex, and not look too hard for new partners. There is need for professional help in all financial matters. So, for some of you that could be triggering, but it's okay. You know, we all have things that we need to work on, especially if we have some karmic debt or financial debt or something like that, either from this life or past life, okay? But this is why it's important to look at your birth chart. All right, so we have the moon, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. I think we did the moon in this one. Okay, so we have Mars, but that's not part of the Mars. So let's look at Jupiter. Okay. And sorry, for Venus, I forgot to tell you, 67 million miles from the sun, orbits around the sun, 224.7 Earth days. Rotation on axis, 243 Earth days. Keywords, harmony, unison, and rules, Taurus and Libra. Now, Jupiter. Jupiter is 484 million miles distant from the sun. Orbit around the sun, 11.86 Earth years. And rotation around the axis is 9 hours and 51 minutes. Satellites has 16. Keywords, expansion and optimism, and rules, Sagittarius, and traditionally Pisces. Okay. So we have Wheel of Fortune also really has the Pisces sign. All the signs are in the Wheel of Fortune actually. But yeah, optimism, success, and confidence and passion. Yeah, that's exactly what we said. Okay, so Jupiter. Sun, Jupiter is the 5th planet in our solar system. Interesting enough. And the 2nd of the outer planets. Okay, Jupiter's influence is the strongest when it's placed in Sagittarius, this sign it rules. So it's interesting that we had a full moon in Sagittarius on June 14. How interesting is that? And we were also going in Saturn retrograde. And now we're going on Jupiter retrograde on July 28. Okay. So make sure you're looking at your Jupiter chart, what signs you have in Jupiter, so that way you know you can expect what to expect during that time. Just reference into your sign, okay? Wow, this is getting so long. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Yeah, largest planet in the solar system is solar gaseous, in which no solid core, has a delicate and mysterious appearance known to the Greeks of Zeus. Jupiter was the sheaf of immortal, whose numerous amorous conquests are recalled in the name. Some of the planet's moon, among them is Aurora, Europa. Anyways, just look it up what Jupiter factor is. But yeah, the planet encourages optimism and hope. It is often necessary for the astrologer to warn against the dangers of over-optimism, which in its most exaggerated form can turn into blind optimism. This tendency, for example, can be expressed through compulsive gambling. The negative influence of Jupiter also encourages exaggeration, extravagance, wastefulness, daredevil risk-taking, and foolhardy. And you see how it's interesting, it's a line into the Wheel of Fortune. Things that we need to be cautious about. that whatever comes around, whatever you invest in, it comes back to you 10 times fold. That's what Jupiter reminds you of. That's why it is something Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Now Jupiter in Sagittarius, the 9th house. We're gonna look at the houses afterwards, so that way we can make this shorter. But so far is Jupiter. Yeah, I already told you what it does. Neptune talks about, yeah, this 28th of June and December 4th, Neptune, which is, like I said, a hangman, the moon, and high priestess. It talks about creativity, dreams, and illusion, right? The moon talks about illusion, secrets, intuition. Yeah, so that's what Neptune is going to enhance that even more in retrograde, especially is in Pisces, okay? And also this new moon in Cancer, you can also use it to manifest as well. Certain ideas, if you're a visionary or somebody who wants to have a better balanced health, life, money situation, be more happier, more inner peace, bring some type of stability, equanimity, equity, circular economy, stuff like that. As we're all manifesting change of system, this is a beautiful time to do that together, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. That's what they know. That's what they're doing all these things with the laws, because they know this too. They have other people who are in the dark side doing this type of thing. But now we are bringing the light to show you the dark, but also put the light in the dark on it, okay? But also you can ask God this. You can pray to God and ask if this is your confirmation, if this is what's happening, and he will give you the answers as well, okay? I'm just here as a messenger for those who are still in the dark. Yeah, so 24th of August and January 1st is Uranus retrograde, which is in Taurus, which is the full energy. And Capricorn, full energy. We have the full. I think we saw the full before, right? Actually, I'm gonna look at it with this. But yeah, so Uranus talks about power, evolution. Okay. There's the Judgment. Oh, Queen of Wands. Yeah, so it talks about power, evolution, destruction, and regeneration. So that's what has been happening. And this is Pluto went retrograde in Capricorn on April 29 to October 8. So that's what's, there's a lot of power, evolution, there's a lot of regeneration, there's a lot of things happening, right? And some of us, it's very catastrophic, and for other people, they don't feel it that much, right? That's the reason why we have inequality, right? And that's what we're trying to bring, equity. Here's the Hangman, the Empress. I'm gonna read you the, Chariot. I didn't put it before, but the Chariot talks about, that's the Cancer energy, right? So yeah, Cancer talks about, Chariot talks about adversity, trouble, conflict, force, reconcile, opposing forces, virtual, mental control, emotional balance, changing direction, travel, success, so all those key words. Death, High Priestess, the World, Wheel of Fortune, Star, I think we have it all. Do we do the Strength card? The Fool, that's the one that I wanted to do, which is, the Fool is Uranus. Yeah, so that's what is being happening right now. New beginning, adventure, spontaneous, no limitations regarding the risk, free spirit, take a leap of faith, very naive. Like we're all taking a leap of faith right now, just going with whatever our intuition tells us that we need to be focusing on. The Moon, the Sun, and Strength. Okay, now Uranus talks about, yeah, so Pluto, which is Capricorn, we already said it, talks about invention, independence, originality, and change. Okay, so Uranus is the one that starts on 29th of August to the January 1st, which talks about power, evolution, destruction, and regeneration. Sorry. And Pluto is the one that talks about invention, independence, originality, and change. Okay. Now, when we look at, I've been guided to look at Jupiter's Aquarius. Jupiter through the zodiac. So Jupiter in Aquarius. Yes. This interesting placing of Jupiter endows individual with humanitarian qualities and a strong need to express them in whatever way possible. Aquarian independence will be in evidence, but these are extremely friendly people who enjoy rewarding social life with a great many friends and acquaintances. Impartially, tolerance and a good understanding of human nature make them sympathetic yet unbiased in outlook and in opinion. There will be an abundance of originality and enthusiasm for scientific interests and technology, often for astronomy and space. Jupiter in Aquarius tends to suggest a picture of a mad professor. I feel like that sometimes. Anyways, Jupiter in Pisces, since we're going into Neptune next week, actually soon. The traditional ruler of Pisces will contribute a philosophical outlook with strong spiritual beliefs, whether associated with an accepted religion or New Age concept. There is a very great deal of intuition, which, while these individuals must listen to it, must be balanced with logic and common sense to keep emotion from being over dramatically expressed. There is a compassionate spirit and very sympathetic and caring rapport with other people. There are those who have genuine psychic powers. It is essential that they work with someone experienced in these disciplines to prevent negativity or misguided use. Okay, so make sure that you're listening to the right people, that you're not being influenced to do other things with any type of work that you do, to try to manipulate and be in a low vibration and stuff like that. Like, don't do that stuff, okay? That's in Pisces. And we can see in Cancer, Jupiter is interesting in Cancer. Let's see, Cancer. Here, Jupiter is beautifully spiced with Cancer intuition and emotion. These people are extremely kind and sympathetic, with an understanding of human nature and others' problems. The imagination is increased and can be used in ways that emerge from other signs and planetary influences. Sometimes there is a talent for writing. Cancer changeably causes opinions to alter considerably from time to time, but at its best, this trait encourages flexibility and open-minded attitude. Home and family life will be above average importance, and these individuals make excellent, if sometimes worrying, parents who will be eager to stretch their children's minds. Okay, so that's the trait of that. But honestly, make sure you're looking at your chart. Now, Saturn. Saturn, distant from the Sun, 887 million miles. 1.4 billion kilometers. Orbit around the Sun is 29.46 Earth years. Rotation on axis is 10 hours and 14 minutes. Saturn clumps its rig system with at least 34 moons. You listening to this? Saturn has 34 moons. Can you imagine? We're already affected by one moon, like to the max. Can you imagine 34 moons? I'm just saying. Wow. Keywords: limitations, self-control, rules, Capricorn, and traditionally Aquarius. Okay, so I feel like 100 miles Saturn is the sixth planet on our polar system and the third of the other. So this is the sixth planet. We have summarized. Before the integration of the modern planets into astrological, this is everything that was stern, negative, and ominous was attributed to Saturn. The emphasis has now changed, and Saturn is associated with authority and provides a severe inner voice which controls and sometimes limits our self-expression. Here in our inner father or authority figure, which will either inhabit us with countless puts down, telling us we are no good at anything, or will give us the kind of sensible advice we might expect of a strict, but by no means negative parent or teacher, often our Saturn influence. Oh, yes. What is it that I saw? Something really important I saw before. There you go, Saturn in Pisces. Yeah, just want to see Saturn in Pisces and we'll look at it. The sacrificial tendency of Pisces will be increased with this placing. Individuals will go for a job which they know will help those in need, rather than one which will develop their own potential and give inner satisfaction. Sometimes there is a lack of self-confidence. It is often the case, however, that a certain shyness plus an attractive self-efficiency quality, which many of these individuals will be quite unaware of, will add charm and considerable sex appeal. A powerful imagination is usual and should be allowed free-flowing expression in any kind of creative form. Remember that, Pisces, okay? Cancer, since we're going into new moon, let's see what it says. Saturn in Cancer. Here is particularly strong need for emotional security. A formal contract of marriage would be more desirable than cohabitation. Many of these individuals will be especially eager to build a sound family background for themselves, their partner, and children. The Cancer tendency to worry will be pronounced even if the dominant signs of the individual chart show otherwise. Any hint of depression must be talked through with a sympathetic partner or friends. Often there is a restraint in the expression of emotion. They need to relax as this helps counter the tendency. So you see why is it important to look at your chart and check out, when these mental illness or things that you usually, perhaps you're dealing with. If you're a Cancer watching this, you need to check so that way you are aware. It's like, okay, during that time, now I understand why I feel this way, and that way you can be aware of it and balance it and find that, maybe book a therapy session that time during this time, right? Because now the Saturn is going retrograde on. It already is since October 23rd. So if you're having this type of tendency, it will be good to focus on your mental health. It will be good to balance, work on your childhood wounds and stuff like that, okay? Now, what I wanted to say about the Magician. So yeah, Magician talks about power, skill, action, manifestation. So this is the Mercury, right? Resourceful, something significant, right? The Empress talks about someone creative, matriarchy, marriage, abundant, stable, grounded, down-to-earth person, okay? The High Priestess is intuitive, feeling, subconscious. I'm just repeating what I already said, but I'm just letting you know. Acceptance of life mysteries unrevealed. I'm going from Mercury to Venus. Now I'm going for the Moon. The Moon talks about illusions, fear, betrayal, deceptions, hidden motives, sensitivity, imagination, dreams, subconscious intuition. The Chariot, which is Cancer's energy. Adversity, trouble, conflict, force, reconcile, direction, travel, society. I already said that about this, but yeah. The Sun card. Success, happiness, prosperity, hope, love, joy, satisfaction, vitality, clarity, understanding, achievement, fulfillment, good news. This is the Sun, right? Or Sun is the self, right? Strength, which is the Leo energy, right? Courage, power, action, patience, perseverance, good health. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I don't know, I just want to continue. Jupiter, right? So it's the wheel of fortune, good luck, life cycles, up and down, destiny, karma, transition, movement, progression, travel, turning point, opportunity, change. Okay, so this is why we're going through this turbulence time, this changing and shifting, and it's up to us which way we choose. Okay, the planets are there to help us. Okay, this is what's going on, and you look at your birth chart and see, okay, is that what it goes with what I want to do with my life? And you can always shift and change. It's a free will, okay? But I'm just giving you the predictions of what these things, your actions, and can either enhance, can bring you good karma, or can keep you stuck, or can give you bad karma. It's up to you, okay? The World, completion, success, fulfillment, high attainment, rewards for efforts, inner outer, reconciliation, voyage, immigration. So a lot of you have been traveling. That's what you have the Mercury, which talks about travel, and then you have Saturn, right? Which Saturn is going is already in return in Aquarius, okay? Which talks about the star, right? Star, faith, hope, bright prospect, positive changing, healing. After a difficult phase, follow your aspiration and optimism. But remember, we saw that the planets are letting you know, don't be too much in the clouds. Like, you know, you have to balance the optimism too. You have to also, you know, plant some roots, plant some seeds, okay? Not thinking that everything is gonna be given to you. You know, you gotta do the work, okay? Death talks about ending, change, transition, new beginning, transformation, renewal, liberation, rebirth. All makes way for the new, okay? Judgment, renewal, liberation, rebirth. Judge for past actions, acumen, reevaluate, spiritual awakening, heal, change, second chance, okay? So a lot of us are healing, going through that second chance, repenting, you know, because we know we're going through some intense karma, and right now it's being guided. We have to let go of the old so that new things can happen, okay? And that too, we're going from the devil, which is downfall, failure, stagnation, self-imposed, restriction, bondage, unpleasant people or situation, addiction, dishonesty, sex, lust, all of that. It needs to stop. You want a better life, you want inner peace, it needs to stop. That's really it. You need to cut the cord. You need to have that authority that God gave you after you heal, repent, and He's forgiven you, and you connected with Him, you build that relationship. You can't be, there's only one God, okay? This one needs to go. You need to cut it off, cut it out, cut it off. The Hangman, transition, surrender, retreat, contemplation of activity, suspension of activity, selflessness, let go, different viewpoint. Okay? Just different. Look at things from a different perspective, okay? Let's see, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Okay, so we're going to Neptune. I think I read to you about Neptune, Uranus factor. Yeah, Uranus is the one that's coming on the 24th of August. But this one says, Uranus takes 7 years to travel through each sign of the zodiac and is the same sign for everyone born in that period. It is important for those who have Aquarius as sun, moon, or ascendant sign when it becomes a personal planet. So some of you need to be looking, okay, what's your Uranus? What's your sign? Check it out. 1.8 billion miles from the sun, 84.1 Earth years, 17 hours and 24 minutes. Rotation on the axis, satellites, 5 main moons, and a faint system of ice rings. Change disrupted of sudden and rules Aquarius. So, and it's still Uranus, January 1st. Yeah, it's still gonna be, while it's going on Saturn retrograde, and Pisces is still gonna be, yeah, you're gonna have these retrograde planets going on each other. Okay, Neptune. So Neptune is the second of the modern planets. It takes 164 years to complete a journey through all 12 signs of the zodiac sign. Because it is in each sign for 14 years at a time, it is possibly the most potent generational influence. And I already said that I was reading. Distance from the sun is 2.8 billion miles. Orbit around the sun, 164.79 Earth years. Rotation on the axis, 14 hours. Satellite Triton, Nereid, and others. Keyword, confusion, cloudiness. So might be a little quiet, a little, you know, a little in the imagination sense. And that's why I drew by Pisces and the Hangman. Okay, so retrograde motion over the years. So yeah, Pluto, we're already in retrograde. So yeah, so just check your Pluto, check your Uranus, you know, but let's see Neptune and Pisces, what's going on, since we're already in Neptune here. Neptune and Pisces. Following its current position in Aquarius, Neptune is due to be active in Pisces from 2011 to 2025. It was way back in the 1860s that Neptune will last visit Pisces, and while we could study its influences from that time, is it worth doing so? The world's different place and becoming increasingly so in the 21st century. One thinks of that age of regular church and going and sexual repression. Did I just read what I just read? Let's do it again. Okay, it says, one thinks of that age of regular church going and sexual repression. Isn't that what we're doing right now? Didn't learn the lesson? Oh, you see that it's up to us? They're trying to repeat the same shit that happened, I don't know how many years ago. But also incredible progress in engineering and grand Victorian Gothic architecture of the horrors of the Civil War. But the end of slavery, how would these influences be reborn, if at all? Oh wow, look at that. Wasn't it really the end of slavery? Are we still in this shit? Yeah, you see the karmic lesson that we haven't learned yet that we need to learn? Oh yeah. See how it repeats? The planets are letting you know it's repeating. It's repeating. Because we haven't learned the lesson. Now, the houses. This is what I wanted to tell you. So, right now we have the new moon that is going to happen in Cancer, which talks about the 4th house. So when we look at the 4th house is in Cancer in the moon, okay? This house shows how we relate to our family and domestic life and how we see our parents, especially our mother. It can also be accentuated when we wish to start or extend our family. It is to this house that we will look when wanting to make changes to our home, moving, buying, and selling, remodeling, or adding on. Wow, this is so long. Okay. And the next house that you would need to check out is, so basically check your 4th house. Maybe you don't have your 4th house in Cancer, let's say. But I'm just saying that the 4th house is related to Cancer, okay? The 2nd house that the planets want you to look at, sorry, that's the moon, okay? The 1st house that they want you to see is Mercury. So Mercury is ruled by the 3rd house. So your 3rd house is the house of Gemini and Mercury, okay? This house represents our school days and education and relationship with our brothers and sisters, cousins, aunts, and uncles. Wow. Our mode of transportation is highlighted. We consider the 3rd house when we want to buy or sell our bikes or motorcycle, cars, and so on. The house also rules short distance travel and the media. Exactly like the Magician. Okay, so we all need to be looking at our 3rd house, our 4th house, okay? The 2nd, Venus, right? So Venus is ruling our 2nd house. So we need to look at our 4th, 3rd, and 2nd house, okay? So the 2nd house is ruled by Taurus and Venus, right? Venus. Here is the house of emotional and financial security through earnings. There is often a tendency to think of a partner as just a treasured possession, and it is well to be aware that there is a close relationship between money and love, especially when relationship breaks down. Don't just partner with someone because of their money. That's gonna come bite you in the ass. Don't do that shit. The other one, the sun, I will say the sun, it could be the 5th house, right? That we need to be looking at. The 5th house talks about, where is it? Leo, the sun. This is the house of creativity, which can be expressed in all kinds of ways and how we relate to children. It is the house of the father and how we see him, right? Love affairs begin here, and our optimism and exuberance for life is shown, plus our predictions for risk-taking. Prediction for risk-taking, either good or bad, is still risk-taking, and it's still written, is destined, okay? 9th house, Jupiter. So we need to be looking at the 9th house, okay? So this is the house of higher education, of college life. Here we have the individual attitude toward long-distance travel and exploration, geographically and intellectually. Idealism, optimism, and our ability to communicate are accentuated as an immigration. It is also known as the house of dreams, wishes, and desires, okay? Saturn talks about in our 10th house, and it's in Capricorn. Oh, by the way, Jupiter is in Sagittarius, okay? But Saturn is Capricorn, 10th house. So we need to be looking at Capricorn, which is the devil, right? And that's our 10th house, talks about completion. And 9th house is the end of a cycle as well. Also wish fulfillment. So what are our wishes? What are we working on? Like the planet is asking you that, like, manifest wisely on this new moon. That's basically the warning here, okay? And really focus on nurturing your intuition and using discernment and, you know, enhancing your gifts, okay, for your own, for you and for the planet and for others, okay? So this is the house of aspiration and ambition. The need to achieve, to set goals, and how we set about reaching them. As a balance to the 4th house, the one of home and family life, the 10th house has the career to the 4. It is also the voice of the inner father, who either encourage or puts you down. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. That interesting. It says here the importance of timing. Remember that God doesn't work in time. It's all divine timing. It says, unless the birth time is known to within 2 hours, we are unable to integrate the houses into our astrological interpretation because we will not have the all-important ascendant. Nevertheless, a great deal of information can still be gleaned from the position of all the planets in all the signs and the relationships that they make to each other. This area of astrology is known as the aspects. But it's interesting that it talks about timing, right? But I feel like a lot of us need to be looking into this and checking out, like, okay, yeah, so you see the planets through the houses. So you have the first house, the house of the ascendant, right? So let's say if your ascendant is the sun or the moon or Mercury or Venus or Mars, Jupiter and Saturn, okay? So that's why it's important to look at this. So for example, we said Saturn in Aquarius, right? That's what is happening right now where we are, which is retrograde, right? So if we look at, we know that Saturn is the 10th house. So if we look at the 10th house, okay, 10th house, and is in Saturn. So let's see what it says. 10th house, Saturn. These individuals will eventually have to carry considerable responsibilities and will do so well and loyally. A tendency to distance themselves from their employees or families in pursuit of and dedication to their objectives often occurs. Do you see why? There's a couple collective that these people are targeting because they know what they need to be doing and they're trying to prevent them from stopping to doing that because they know it will affect them. Now, if we look at the Jupiter on the 9th house, Jupiter will exert its best influence in this permutation. Permutation talks about, you know, like shifting, right? Like permutating, right? There is a considerable intellectual potential which will be expressed through the influence of the Jupiter sign. Communication skills are good and people with configuration are often able to speak several languages. So if you know a lot of languages or you want into that or you want to work into that, you're being encouraged to do so, okay? Because it's going to be good, especially during the month of July. If you want to learn new languages, that's something that, you know, if you're an Aries, that's something that's going to be enhanced for you, okay? Is that it? Spirit, 11th house, 12th house. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about Neptune. Yes. Let's talk about Neptune, and which is the 12th house. Neptune is the 12th house, Pisces, Hangman. Okay, so let's look at Neptune right here. Here is Neptune in his own place, bringing a genuine, meaningful faith, perhaps dedication to a cause, an esoteric subject, or to animals or the sick. A talent for poetry, dance, ice skating, or singing is very possible and should be developed. Artists and singers and musicians and creative people, Neptune and Pisces is your shit, yo. And it's okay, listen to this. It starts on 28th of June and it ends on December 4th. So whatever you need to be doing, you better be doing it, okay? Any song, any book, anything, release, put it out there. Do what you gotta do, marketing, all that stuff, you figure it out on the way, but the planets are with you. Whatever creativity, not only planet, God is with you. God is trying to ask you to whatever you need to be doing, release it. I'm telling you this, but I'm telling myself this as creative as I am, okay? Just put it out there. Any song, album, poetry, books, blogs, podcasts, anything that it can be put out for the world for expansion. Okay, if you're building a channel, if you're, you literally it's destined, you're meant to be a star, whoever you are. Okay, that's what I'm trying to let you know. Like the planets are letting you know that whatever is happening in the world is, it's the catalyst, the inspiration, even if through the bad, it's the inspiration to make you do something. Perhaps you're writing a song that is gonna be the catalyst for bringing justice. They're gonna be the catalyst for bringing equity or circular economy or changing systems, sustainability. Do you know what I'm saying? Whatever gifts that you have, get going. The planets, the earth, everything is for you. It's really encouraging to do so, okay? And this fucker is below you for a reason. Fuck that energy. I'm telling you. Accept your ego death. Go through your surrender. Just surrender, okay? And heal. That's what it is. That's why it doesn't want you to heal. It wants you to stay stuck and having constantly karmic will so that you can keep coming back here and dealing with the same thing over and over and over again while other people benefit from your suffering and pain. And it's not right. We're done with that. Be that earth angel. Take that leap of faith. Know that God is with you. Count on him or her, the universe, whatever. They're literally telling you these 5 planets that happen is every 100 years. We're not here for long. We don't get to live 100 years. Some of us do, but some of us don't. Okay? That's what the planets are letting you know. You're not here for long. We have been longer than you. And we've been watching you. And we're trying to tell you, let go of that fucking shit religion. You are spirit here. Stop it. Use discernment. They colonize your mind. Heal. Let go of the shit. This is a piece of crap. It's a fucking bullshit. Stop. The system is literally created by this motherfucker. That's what we need to change it. Do you get it now? Let go of fossil fuels. All this bullshit. All this share and stuff like that. Buy share something else. That's how you help us out too. And you stop investing in stuff like, these banks and all these people are toxic as fuck. They don't get it. They don't give a fuck. They only care is about money. Well, look where we're going. That's what we're trying to change. The wheel of fortune is here. All these people are going to go through some heavy, heavy karma for all the stuff that they have done for many, many generations, okay? And that's what I got for you. I think that's what it is. Sorry that it took so long. Wow, this is long. But this is some type of like a reading, I guess. Spirit? Yeah, that's what they wanted me to tell you. Let me see what you should surrender. I mean, I already told you more or less what you should surrender and read it to you. But let's see if angels and ancestors, Father God, please let us know what we should surrender during this beautiful energy of that happens every 100 years. Every 100 years. And 5 talks about change. So there's something I feel, yeah, you see, I think I told you guys what I needed to tell you. Oh, wait. Yeah, surrender your desire to control people. There it is. Being overly controlling can sabotage relationship. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Surrender negative thinking. Yeah, you have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus in positive affirmations. Surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Surrender to rest and sleep, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. To prevent burnout, slow down, honor your need for quiet time and peaceful sleep to rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit. And that's what I have for you, because we're talking about the mind and all of that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for staying with me this far, for letting me know if this have resonated with you. Let me know in the comments. I hope this was helpful for you. Also, it was a little bit of tarot reading, tarot knowledge as well, lessons, and yeah, I hope this was helpful for you. yeah, check out your birth chart. I'll leave the links and stuff either in the blog or leave it in the description below for you guys free. You know, you just go put on your birth chart, the time, and you'll see, you know, everything. It's free. So you really just check it out, and that way you're aware. And I already told you what to expect. The planets are letting you know what to expect. They're gonna be in a line until July 12th, and then they will see you again if you're alive next on 2040. Yes. Till then, I'll see you guys later on your readings for each of the signs, which I'll do during this weekend. Need to take some surrender to rest and sleep right now. But I love you guys. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for sharing and liking, commenting, and supporting the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.